So, good morning. I'm Pierre Voller, the mayor of Les Ors, and I'm accompanied with Yann Bidot, chief of the project. Let's present you Smart Altitude, an internet project entirely dedicated to mountain territories, more precisely to the Alps, as part of the Alpine Space Program. Who among you has never been to the mountains? You probably live in a crowded, polluted city, and you like to breathe fresh air in an unspoiled landscape that calls out to you to get on your skis or just enjoy beauty and peace. That's exactly what mountain resorts offer you, a place where you can enjoy snow or downhill sports, or simply relax in a wonderful environment where you can choose to socialize or isolate and get away from it all. But the mountains are an area that must be respected and preserved as much for its natural landscape, its animals and its vegetation, as for its population and human activities. And indeed, there is a lot of economical exchange between the resorts and the valleys, an active economy with communities working together to maintain all kinds of infrastructure. Tourism generates vital income for most mountain regions. You can see the figures on the slide. It's what keeps people, services, schools, hospitals, and so on in places that would otherwise have been deserted long ago. Nevertheless, this model that was built in the 70s is threatened by the climate change. We have all seen striking images of glacier recession, and the reduction of snowfalls is a clear threat for the current model, calling for adaptive measures. This is where Smart Altitude takes place, a dedicated project to reduce carbon footprint and energy consumption in high tourist mountain areas as a first necessary step to adaptation to the necessity of reducing carbon footprint and GHG emissions. Indeed, this approach does not replace, but is a necessary complement to climate change adaptation and mitigation by evolving mountain tourist models aiming at reducing the dependence to snow by diversifying the offer.
All right, so let's go now to the Smart Altitude project, a little bit more in details. It's, as Pierre said, it's all about reducing the energy consumption within ski areas. And for this, the project has built a strong consortium of 11 partners from 6 countries of the Alpine space, with 24 observers, and they are very representative of the diversity of the Alpine space, okay? So you see this on the map, you see the number of different locations where the project took place. And to do that, there were 4 main outputs of the project. One was the WebGIS, meaning a geographical information system to display the energy capacity of the territories and their efforts or the results in lowering the energy consumption. And also a living lab with 4 different locations, one in Slovenia, in Switzerland, in Italy, and in France, and all with different aspects of the reducing the energy consumption. All right. The other part of the project was a very well-designed multi-step process to guide replicators or other ski areas within the capacity to progress in their energy consumption reduction, okay? And you see the different steps: auditing, set priorities, plan, and of course, putting in action the different steps. And then we got some project results, very interesting, of course. This is just an example driven from Les Ors, with 20% energy reduction, 25% of the energy bill, reduction also of greenhouse gas and 50% of the public lighting. And finally, you see the replication that we put in action with 26 locations that are together to accept this process. And finally, we also used a very strong communication strategy to try to broaden our audience and to populate this all over the Alpine space in international events, workshops, webinars, and so forth. Okay, so now this was Smart Altitude, and we had very good results thanks to the Alpine space support. And now we are trying to think about getting one step further, because we have to capitalize on these results that we got and to extend it. So we are now working on a new project which is called Novaltitude. And instead of just focusing on energy, we will focus on 4 different areas, which are water, energy, mobility, and waste reduction. And for this, we know that data is absolutely necessary. We want to turn data into knowledge and knowledge into action. And for this, we are building a full environment to get all people sharing their different types of data to go further.
So we are proud to have contributed and to continue to act for the mountain of tomorrow, more aware of the climate challenge and moving towards an approach that respects natural areas without compromising the economy of the local population, which have a long history of brave resilience throughout the Alps. Thank you for listening.